Well, what a compliment, huh? Whitewashed tombs. What is Jesus pointing out here to the scribes and Pharisees? What does Jesus point out for actually each one of us? Because we are all prone to that which Jesus is pointing out in the scribes and Pharisees in their attitudes, which again can happen to us as well. The fact is this, that our sinfulness is not a weakness that we can overcome on our own. It is a condition that requires a Savior. It is a condition that needs salvation, that comes from Jesus Christ himself. And so a lot of times we may feel that we need to earn that salvation or earn God's love. And so I need to fill my life with many penances and practices and whatnot to please the Lord. But the fact of the matter is that salvation is being freely given to us. Salvation is consistently being worked out in our lives according to the pattern and architecture of the heart of Jesus and the way in which he showed us how to live holiness. You know, today we celebrate the great Saint Augustine, one of our greatest doctors of the church, and who teaches us a lot about the faith, about theology, about God, you name it. And for him, the famous saying bodes well for us. Our hearts are restless until they rest in you, O Lord. Our hearts are restless in general. But even within the life of the church, let us ask ourselves, are our hearts truly resting in the Lord? As we continue to come to Mass, which is a great gift God gives and desires for each one of us to enter into communion with us, are our hearts truly resting in God? You know, resting in God doesn't mean that we're going to remain passive or that there's going to be no stresses or difficulties in our life. No, but resting actually means coming into union with Jesus' heart so that when we are faced with the stress of life, so that when we are in those difficult situations with certain people in our lives, we aren't reacting out of our sinfulness, out of our egotism, but responding or receiving the person or the situation with the heart of Jesus. That is what it means to come into rest, that is, in union with the heart of Jesus. So, my brothers and sisters, today let us ask for that grace, therefore, through the intercession of St. Augustine, yes, to have our hearts truly rest in our God, because salvation is being freely given to us. His loving embrace is freely given to us. We can see it on the cross, we can see it in the resurrection. Now we must work it out, but in union with God. We're not on our own. We're not on our own merits or failures. We are with our merciful God, who also calls us to be united with one another in working out our salvation, resting in God's heart.